Welcome back to Bears News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. Tonight, we've unearthed a story so tantalizing it's already got scouts across the league kicking themselves because Chicago's brass quietly scooped up an undrafted free agent safety whose impact could reverberate far beyond training camp. But before I reveal his name, let me paint the picture of how this underdog might just become the league's most bitter "I should have signed him" regret. Picture the aftermath of draft weekend. The noise dies down, war room doors close, and whispers start circulating about an overlooked backfield of free agent talents. GM Ryan Poles convenes his pro scouting director Jeff King for a final review of the UDFA pool, and his eyes lock onto a player with a resume that defies his draft snub. His college tape shows a ball-hawking instinct that led to 5 interceptions, and 8 passes defended in his final 2 seasons, lines that would make any defensive coordinator drool. Yet, on draft night, teams passed over him, perhaps chastising his lack of size without noticing the way he reads quarterbacks like an open book. Could this be the same player who lined up at Ole Miss before transferring to Oregon and flourishing under the Ducks' defensive scheme? The same playmaker who shifted seamlessly between deep safety, slot corner, and box defender, racking up run stops, pass breakups, and big hits in every role. Fans are wondering if this positional kaleidoscope convinced teams he was too much, of a tweener to stick, only for the Bears to pounce minutes after the draft ended. This mystery player is rumored to have already agreed verbally to a deal that could flip Chicago's secondary on its head. Ryan Poles approached the 2025 NFL Draft with surgical precision, prioritizing scheme fit and long-term value over splashy headlines. By selecting tight end Colston Loveland at number 10, he not only secured a seam-stretching weapon perfectly suited to Ben Johnson's 2 TE sets, but also sent a message that the Bears would lean into positional versatility. ESPN's draft analysts lauded Poles for sticking to his board when trading up for receiver Luther Burden III, calling it the best pick of the entire 2025 draft because Burden fell further than his talent warranted sports mockery. This discipline, picking the right player rather than the most popular name, underscores Chicago's blueprint of building around the coach's playbook rather than pandering to buzz. On day 2, Poles doubled down on his blueprint by adding Missouri, receiver Luther Burden III, and Texas A&M defensive tackle Shamar Turner in quick succession. Burden's yards-after-catch prowess effortlessly complements DJ Moore and Rome Odunze, creating a multi-dimensional passing game, while Turner's 300-pound frame and first-step burst lock-up interior run lanes and collapse pockets ChicagoBears.com. These picks weren't mere talent grabs, they were calculated moves to elevate competition in every meeting room, exactly as Poles promised when he called his class an instant upgrade in speed and toughness. Poles, Day 3, work continued. The theme of scheme precision. In the 4th and 5th rounds, the Bears drafted linebacker Ruben Hippolyte II and cornerback Zaw Frazier, 2 athletes renowned for instincts and coverage versatility at Maryland and UTSA, respectively Windy City Gridiron. By targeting players who can thrive in nickel sub-packages and hybrid fronts, Chicago reinforced Dennis Allen's vision of a multiple-front defense. And with offensive linemen like Luke Newman and late-round backer Kyle Monengai added subsequently, Poles ensured that both sides of the ball would feature youth, athleticism, and depth, hallmarks of sustainable roster construction. Beyond the Hoodie draft, Poles doubled down on development by aggressively pursuing undrafted free agents who embody his criteria of high football IQ, positional flexibility, and special teams value. The signing of versatile Oregon safety Tysheem Johnson perfectly illustrates this. A player who slipped through 7 rounds because of his tweener size, yet boasts 5 career picks, 8 passes defended, and the ability to line up both, in the box and deep. Johnson's addition not only complements veterans like Kevin Byard III and Kyler Gordon, but also fits Poles' overarching strategy. Build a roster loaded with players who can rotate seamlessly, create mismatches, and sustain high energy throughout the season. If Johnson and others like him pan out, the Bears will have turned late-round and undrafted pickups into game-changing contributors, demonstrating the true genius of Poles' draft philosophy. Now imagine OTAs in late May, when the exception becomes the expectation. The facility's lights burn bright as helmets clang and whistles pierce the air. Veteran safeties methodically work through backpedals and footwork drills, but you can practically hear the murmur ripple across the secondary room every time this newcomer moves. His eyes are locked on the quarterback, scanning the entire field as if he's already memorized every route combination. He snags an overthrown deep ball, leaping like it's gravity-defying. Then, in the very next rep, he slides into the slot and mirrors a shifty receiver as though he's standing on the same page of the playbook. Every single rep feels like a quiet declaration. You passed on me. Now, watch me change this game. Isn't it possible that in these hushed, high-stakes workouts, Chicago has already unearthed the kind of instinctive playmaker who can rifle through blown coverages and turn them into highlight reel interceptions for the rest of the league to envy? Midway through camp, that electric buzz on the sidelines only escalates. Position coaches lean in clusters, their voices hushed yet fervent. He's special. He's staying late every day. I can't believe nobody else saw this. Teammates, too, seasoned vets and bright-eyed rookies, share quick fist bumps and nods when the newcomer flashes his coverage work. On social media, the seismic shifts begin. Fans spot his name in early practice reports, watch unofficial tally sheets add up sudden spikes in PD and INT, and tag each other saying, "Did you see number 33 today?" He's making Kevin Byard sweat for reps. Could the rest of the league soon look back and realize they all slept on someone who, in just a few camp weeks, taught even Chicago's veterans something about anticipation and playmaking? Analysts have started whispering across podcasts that this undrafted free agent might, just might, lead the Bears in takeaways by mid-season, upsetting more than a few Pro Bowl projections. And now, dear viewers, it's time for the big reveal. The mystery playmaker we've been building up is Tysheem Johnson, the versatile Oregon safety whose path from Ole Miss freshman to Duck defensive centerpiece read like a film script begging for a dramatic final act. After slipping through draft cracks, discarded for his sub-6-foot frame, Johnson landed in Chicago's camp armed with instincts sharper than his 40-yard dash, ready to rewrite expectations. Could he truly supplant a seasoned starter like Kevin Byard III, carving out a rotation spot in sub-package nickel formations? Or might he rise so swiftly that Kyle Gordon finds himself sliding over to make room for this budding star? And what if Johnson's electrifying camp performance forces the Bears to rip up their depth chart halfway through the season, elevating him from UDFA to must-start safety? Consider the heart of the question now. What do you think about all of this? Can Tysheem Johnson, undersized by pro standards but oversized in instinct, become Chicago's next breakout defensive hero? Or will this hype train sputter once padded practices and live bullets begin? Personally, I'm itching to see that. First glorious interception. Johnson stepping in front of a slant, turning upfield, and roaring toward the end zone with Soldier Field erupting around him. There's something profoundly inspiring about a player who overcomes perceived physical limitations to dominate at this level. I can't wait to read your takes in the comments below. Tell me how many picks you predict he'll haul in and which game will be his coming out party. If this suspense-packed deep dive has you buzzing, smash that like button, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another scoop. Because when Tysheem Johnson's name starts lighting up stat sheets, you'll want to have been here from the very beginning. Thanks for watching, and as always, bear down.